Hi guys, I'm Britt. I am the studio manager at Chandler, and I'm going to guide you through a workout today. Just as we do in class, we will be doing that upper body, that core, and that lower body. What you need at home is grab a mat, or you can also use that carpet, something for those knees, those joints, really comfortable. We will be using weights. So a set of weights, I have a set of heavier weights and a pair of lighter weights. And then also some bands. Again, I have a lighter band and a heavier band, completely optional for you. If you don't have any weights at home, you can also use water bottles or even wine bottles if you have them, just something that's gonna be a little bit heavier, but both are completely optional. You can just use all of that body weight. But let's get started. We are gonna start with that straight arm plank. So starting with our core, those hands are gonna come firmly on that mat, shoulders directly over those wrists, and you're gonna press up on to those toes. Really taking a couple deep breaths in and out, using that breath. We wanna take that full body scan. So energy through the crown of that head, you wanna zip it all the way through that body. You can always take this down to those knees. If this ever becomes too much, just making sure those hips really are squeezing below you. Still pulling that belly up. If you're on those toes, you're flexing out through those heels behind you, just as if you would have a wall up against you. Really squeeze, creating that space. In 15 seconds, we are gonna take it into our alternating leg lifts. We are gonna lift one leg up and down and alternate. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just lifting one leg up to that ceiling, planting it back down, and lifting up the other. Trying to keep those hips completely still. You can always take this down on those knees, just lifting up one knee and planting it down and lifting up the other. If you're on those knees, trying to stay lower, trying not to pike up into a tabletop position. Really squeeze, squeeze to that core. Pull those bellies up and in, keeping those shoulders over those wrists. You got this. 15 seconds. We're gonna hold back into a straight arm plank and just hold. So coming back down for that form. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pressing up through the palms of those hands and holding. Pulling those bellies up, squeezing those glutes, flexing out those heels. Remember, coming down to those knees if you need to. Shoulders directly over those wrists. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those push-ups. Wide elbows, chest down to that floor. In 3, 2, and 1. Wide elbow, chest down, pressing through the palms of those hands. You can do those on those toes, or if you're like me, I like to come down to those knees and really squeeze, pulling those bellies in. If this is still too much, push-ups are just not your thing, hold your form. Really squeeze those booties, pull those bellies in. You're almost there, 15 seconds, and we're gonna take that child's pose. You can do it, really push. Try to get 2 more in. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that child's pose, booties back, lengthen out those arms, drop that head. Really relax. Maybe you relax and roll out those wrists. We are gonna take it next into that forearm plank. So when you're ready, forearms are gonna come down to that mat or that carpet. You can either make an 11 or have those hands crossed, and you're gonna press up onto those toes. Again, on those toes or down on those knees. Pulling those bellies up and in. Shoulders stacked over those elbows. Really squeeze. You got this, reset. Reset that core. Pull those bellies in. Create that space, so take your shoulder blades away and press up. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in a side plank. We're gonna come through center with that right elbow and turn to the sides of the room. Side plank. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right elbow comes through center. You can either stack those feet or one in front of the other. You can always take that knee down and extend through that left. Top hand can either be down on that floor for support, up on your hip, or up towards that ceiling with your gaze. Just squeeze. Press through those forearms. 15 seconds, we're gonna add in those pulses. You're gonna pulse 1 inch up towards that ceiling. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulse up. Really squeeze. Use your breath, still pull those bellies up and in. Try not to let it just hang out. So really press away. You can do it. 15 seconds. And we're gonna come back through center. Coming back to that forearm plank. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Really squeeze. Pull those bellies in. I'm gonna turn around to show you as we go to that other side. 15 seconds. We're gonna take it to that other side plank. Left elbow through center. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left elbow through center. Turning towards the side of that room again. Either on those feet stacked, one on top of the other, or left knee down and lifting through that right. Top hand, either down on the floor, up on that hip, or up towards that ceiling with that gaze. Really squeeze. Drive through that forearm. Pull those bellies in. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those pulses. You're gonna pulse 1 inch up and down. In 3, 2, and 1. Pulse 1 inch up and down. You can do this so strong. Really push. If this is too much, hold your forearm plank. Energy through that forearm. 10 seconds, and we're gonna get that stretch. Keep pushing. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a child's pose. Booties on those ankles. Lengthen out those arms. Grab a sip of that water if you need to. To finish out this core series, we're gonna come on our backs and take it into those crunches. So roll down onto those backs. Your feet are gonna stay on that floor, about hip width apart. You're gonna take those hands up towards that ceiling, those wrists still directly over those shoulders. As you exhale, you're gonna scoop through that center abdominal, lifting the head and shoulders off, arms come down to those hips. Inhale. As you lower back down, we still wanna make sure that those wrists stay over those shoulders. So as we lower, try not to let them come behind us and have everything open up. I still want you to pull through. So anchor that tailbone. Really squeeze. Your core is lifting you. Is lifting those head and shoulders off of that floor. Maybe you take an extra pause at the top. You got this. Keep squeezing. Maybe try to get those shoulders 1 inch higher. 15 seconds. We're gonna add in that iso hold at top. So you're gonna hold at your highest crunch and no movement, just hold. Iso hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep in your highest crunch and just hold. Pull those bellies down. Anchor through those tailbones. Try to lift those shoulders 1 inch higher. Gaze down towards that navel. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those alternating oblique reaches. You're gonna reach one fingertip towards those heels, come through center, and alternate. Alternating oblique reaches in 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, reach towards one heel. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, you squeeze. This doesn't have to be fast. We're really squeezing through our obliques. Think about pulsing towards what's ever in front of you. If it's that wall, your couch, that TV, really squeeze. 15 seconds. We're gonna roll down and take a stretch. You can do this, trying to get 1 inch higher. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Maybe you take that windshield wiper with those knees side to side. You can always bring them up into that chest as you massage up that lower back. Finishing out core, we're gonna take it back to those crunches. This time legs come to a tabletop position. Knees over those hips, ankle in line with those knees. Fingertips to that ceiling, over those shoulders. As you exhale, you're lifting through that center abdominal, pulling those bellies in. Inhale as you lower back down. Really think about keeping those legs zipped together and a tabletop. If you're warm and you want to add in a little bit extra, you can add in your extension. As you crunch up, extend out in front of you. Inhale as you lower back down. Really squeeze, pulling those bellies in, getting those shoulders nice and lifted. Keep pushing. You got this. I know those cores are on fire. You can do it. 15 seconds, and we're gonna hold at our high crunch and end with those hundreds. Pulsing our arms towards that floor for those hundreds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me at your highest crunch hold and pulse. Pulse those arms towards that floor. If you want a little bit more, take your extension. If you want more than that, add in a lower and lift. You got this. Really squeeze. Pull those bellies in. I want you to really pulse through those arms. Use your breath. 15 seconds. And we get that stretch. You can do it. Can you get those shoulders 1 inch higher? You got it. So strong. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees in. Really massage out that lower back. Carefully roll up. Grab that sip of water if you need to. Woo. I need a sip. We are gonna take it into that upper body next. So I'm gonna grab my weights. I'm gonna start off with my lighter weights. You can grab your lighter weights or those heavier weights or 2 bottles of water. We are gonna start with our hug the moon. You can either be in a low kneeling position or maybe you come up to that high kneeling. I'm gonna be in a high kneeling position as it feels better on my knees. Taking 2 weights in each hand and meeting me shoulder height, fingertips up to that ceiling, slight bend in that elbow. As you exhale, you're gonna take those fingertips over the crown of your head. Inhale as you slowly open back up. If you have that mirror in front of you, maybe you turn to the side, making sure as you open, you're not arching. You still wanna keep everything in front. Really squeeze. Shoulders down and back. We're starting to fire up those biceps, firing up those triceps, pulling those lats down and back. Maybe you take those knees and you zip them together on that floor, creating that balance challenge like we do in class. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in a lower and lift. You're gonna meet me over the crown of the head. We're gonna lower our hands to chest height and lift it back up. Lower and lift in 3, 2, and 1. Maybe you interlace those fingertips over your head. As you exhale, you're lowering them down to chest height. Take a pause. Inhale as you squeeze all the way back up. Trying to get as high up as you can. If you can't get all the way over the crown of that head, that's okay. Just trying to get as close as you can without letting those shoulders ride up. So if those shoulders are riding up, shorten your range of motion. 15 seconds. We're gonna take it into that tree hugger. You're gonna be back in front of your chest. We're gonna open our arms to the sides of the room and close it for our tree hugger. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me in front of that chest. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you squeeze. Squeeze in front of your chest, pulling everything in. Same with that hug the moon. Use that mirror if you have it. Try not to let those elbows go behind you. Really think about keeping it in front of you. You should be able to see those elbows in that side view. Think about actually hugging that tree in front of you. Pull those bellies in. I know those shoulders are burning out, but you can do it. Tell yourself, yes, you can. Keep pushing. Really squeeze. If this ever becomes too much, get rid of those weights. You don't have to use them. You can use all your body weight. You got this. So strong. 15 seconds. We are gonna lower it down and take it into a straight arm raise. Bringing those hands outside of those hips, In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing them right outside those hips. As you exhale, lifting up in line with those shoulders. Inhale as you slowly lower back down. Really squeeze. Exhale, pull those bellies up and in. Inhale, slowly lower. You can do this, I know you got this. Keep pushing. Again, if those weights are becoming too much, get rid of them. If it's too light, maybe you take it into those heavier weights. We're burning out those shoulders, 10 seconds, and we're gonna add in our ISO hold. You're gonna meet me with those wrists in line with our shoulders, and we're gonna hold with no movement. In 3, 2, and 1. Meet me up at those shoulders, just hold. Breathe, use that breath. Really squeeze, pull those bellies in. We're gonna circle it to the sides of the room in 3, 2, and 1. Circle it out. Small little circles. You can do it, let those shoulders burn. I know you got this. Reverse your circle in 3, 2, and 1. Reverse your circle. So strong. Keep pushing, small little circles, let it burn. Lowering down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms, roll out those shoulders. You're gonna set those weights aside. Don't put them away just yet, and we're gonna take it up to that straight arm plank. So coming back to our straight arm plank, shoulders over wrist, bellies up. We're gonna just hold for that form. We're not gonna use any movement, just squeeze. Again, taking us down to those knees. If this is too much, you got this. 15 seconds, and we're taking a child's pose. Keep squeezing, pull those bellies in. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a child's pose. Booties on those ankles, lengthen out. Grab a sip of water. You got this. We are gonna finish out our upper body. So grabbing those lighter weights or heavier weights, I'm gonna stick with my lighter weights. We are gonna take it into our sexy back. So this time we will be low kneeling. Booties to those ankles. Take one weight into each hand. You're gonna take those elbows, glue them into your ribs. You're gonna hinge forward. As you exhale, you're gonna take those pinkies up towards that ceiling. Inhale as you pull it back down. So really think about that tailbone is tucked in a hinge position. Your gaze is down and up. So wherever you're looking, keeping that chin off of your chest. Really pull those bellies up and in. As I always say in my class, in a hinge forward, it's easy to want to let everything just kind of hang loose and arch. I want you to really think about squeezing, pulling it up and in. Keeping those elbows down into those ribs. Really fire up those triceps and those lats. Drop your shoulders down and back. 15 seconds. We're gonna come back up to high kneeling, or just stack your shoulders over those hips for our newspaper. Elbows stay into those ribs. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna turn to face you. High kneeling position. Elbows into those ribs. Wrist in line with those elbows for that newspaper. As you exhale, take those knuckles to the sides of the room. Inhale as you slowly close it in. Really thinking about those bellies. Really start and stop those wrists in front of those elbows. Try not to let those weights collapse down. Keep it strong. Keep those wrists strong. Again, if those weights ever start to become too much, get rid of them. You don't have to use them. If this is too light, get something heavier. If you want to add in your extension, as you take those knuckles to the sides of the room, squeeze as you pull it up. As you inhale, squeeze those elbows down, take that pause, and then slowly close. That's just an option. Just a little bit of extra through those shoulder blades, through those lats behind you. Really squeeze through. You got this. So strong. Pull those bellies in, 15 seconds, and we're gonna take it into our window. You're gonna meet me up at shoulder height, elbows in line with those shoulders, fingertips up to that ceiling. Window in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me elbows in line with those shoulders, palms in, keep that space. Exhale, open up to the sides of the room. Inhale, squeeze, close it together. Keep that space in front of that face. Also keep those elbows in front of you, trying not to let everything arch. Really think about squeezing through those front ribs. Squeezing through that belly. We're still active underneath us on that floor. So lifting those quads away from those kneecaps. Pulling up and in. 15 seconds, and we're gonna add in our iso hold. You're gonna hold to the sides of the room with no movement. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me to the sides of the room, hold. Keep those elbows in front, no movement, breathe. You can do it, don't hold that breath. I know you got it, keep pushing. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those pulses. We're gonna pulse 1 inch up and 1 inch down. In 3, 2, and 1. Pulse 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Use your breath, slow and controlled. Try to take out the bounce. Use those biceps, fire up those triceps. You should feel this under those armpits, 10 seconds. And we're gonna take that stretch. You can do it. Keep pushing, you have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woof. I know those shoulders are burning. Mine were burning out. We are gonna take it into that lower body. So this is where we're gonna grab those bands. I'm gonna take into my lighter band. We are gonna start with those parallel squats. So you're gonna take that band and put those feet through it, bringing it over, up over those knees. We're gonna start with those feet hip width apart, all 10 toes. As you inhale, you're gonna drag those heels lowering into that squat. Exhale as you squeeze. So I really want you to think, taking those booties behind you and not forward. So think about if there was a chair. Maybe your couch is behind you and you're gonna tap your booties down into that couch. You wanna keep those knees directly over those toes. So with that band, try not to let them come in or try not to let them splay open. I really want you to use that band. Resist your band, but keep it squeezed. Pull those bellies in. Shoulders down. Maybe you want to pick up that pace. So you get a little bit faster. Maybe you want a little bit more. You add in that double pulse at the bottom. Whatever you need to do, go at your own pace. You can do this. Shoulders down. Really pull those bellies in. 15 seconds. And we're gonna take it into our iso hold. You're gonna meet me down in your low squat. No movement for your hold. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me down in your squat. Pull up your bellies right here. Pull them in. Take a slight tuck in that tailbone. Try not to arch. Really squeeze. If you have that mirror, use it. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those pulses. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. In 3, 2, and 1. Pulse 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Drive through your heels. Resist your band. You can do this. Really squeeze. Pull those bellies in. I know it's burning. Keep pushing. 10 seconds. We're gonna stand tall and take it into curtsy lunge. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall. See, we're gonna sweat. We're gonna take it into our curtsy lunge, so keep that band lifted. We're gonna take it with our right leg. So your right leg, all that weight is in your right leg. You're gonna take your left leg to the corner behind you. Your hips are gonna slightly rotate, and then you're gonna stand tall. Inhale down into your squat. Exhale, squeeze as you drive through that heel. Take your time. Work on your balance. Really squeeze through that outer booty, that outer thigh. Really drive through. Standing tall. Maybe your goal is to get that knee to touch that floor every time. You can do it. Really squeeze. Squeeze those booties. 15 seconds. And we're gonna add in those pulses. You're gonna meet me down in your lowest lunge and hold for those pulses. In 3, 2, and 1. Meet me down in your lowest curtsy lunge. Hold. Pulse 1 inch up, 1 inch down. I know it burns. Really squeeze right here. Squeeze out our booty. Squeeze your outer thigh. Drive through your heel. You can do it. Keep pushing. 10 seconds. We're gonna take it back to parallel squats. In 3, 2, and 1. stand tall, hip width apart. Inhale, back down. Exhale, squeeze. You can do it. Maybe pick up that pace a little bit. Join me, I'm out of breath. It's okay, we're getting that workout in full body. 10 seconds, we're gonna add in those jump jacks. You're gonna hold in a low squat, jump those feet together, jump out. Jump jacks in 3, 2, and 1. Hold down. Jump in, jump out. You can do it. Get those heart rates elevated. You got this. Really squeeze. How low can you get? How low can your booty stay? 10 seconds. We're gonna take it back to curtsy lunge on that left leg. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing tall. Take a breath if you need to. Curtsy lunge on that left side. Weight in that left leg. Inhale. Take that right foot behind you. Hips slightly turn. Exhale, stand tall. Inhale, back into that curtsy lunge. Exhale, squeeze. I know those booties are on fire. Those outer thighs. Use those inner thighs. Really squeeze. Drive through those heels. Shoulders down. As we get tired, we tend to want to take a forward fold and stand tall with our shoulders. Send it down. Take a breath. 15 seconds. And we're gonna take it into those pulses. Meeting me down into that low curtsy lunge. In 3, 2, and 1. Meeting me down in your curtsy lunge hold. Pulse 1 inch up, 1 inch down. You can do it. Really squeeze. Pull those bellies up. You got this. We're almost there. We're gonna end with some jump jacks to get that heart rate elevated. In 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall, plant your feet. Sit back down to that squat. Jump in, jump out. Pick up that pace. You can do it. 20 seconds. That's it, and we're gonna take a forward fold stretch. You got this. Keep pushing. You can do it. Keep those booties down, hips low. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall. Shake it out. Take a forward fold. Grab that sip of water. Take off those bands. Get rid of them. You're done with them. Whew. That was good. We are gonna end with our leg sweeps. So sideline leg sweeps. You're gonna come back to that ground, catching your breath. We're gonna start with our right leg. So you're gonna lay down on your left side. You can either come up onto your forearm, or you can lay down. Whatever more comfortable, but I want those hips stacked and shoulders stacked. Top hand can be in front of you for that support. Starting with our leg sweeps, extend that leg in front of you. As you exhale, sweep it towards wherever you are at the front of the room. Inhale, as you sweep it back. Exhale, sweep in front of you. Inhale, as you sweep it back. You can always take that hand on that hip to make sure those shoulders aren't falling open or falling forward. Really squeeze. We're still active in our core. We're lifting up through our bellies, stabilizing through our obliques. You got this. 10 seconds. And we're gonna take it into those large circles, alternating our parallel, lift and lower. I'll talk you through that first round. Large circles, alternating parallel, lift and lower. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me down at the bottom of your room. You're gonna sweep on that inhale. Exhale, you're gonna lift up. You're gonna draw your circle without moving your hips all the way down in line with your hip pause. Lift up, lower down, and then sweep it back in line with your hip pause. Lift up, lots of pauses as you really squeeze. Not allowing those hips to open up. Keep it down. If you ever need a reset, bring your knees in and pound out that booty, but then get right back into it. Lifting up all the way around. Keep your hips squared. So in this circle, as we lift up to that ceiling, it's really easy to want to open up. Open up those hips. I want you to really keep it parallel. 15 seconds, we're gonna reverse this circle. I'll talk you through that first rep. We're gonna add in our climb the ladder, reversing our circle in 3, 2, and 1. Meet me in front of your hip. Exhale, sweep in front of you. Lift up towards that ceiling. Draw your circle around in front of that hip, hold. Lift up for that climb the ladder, lower back down, and then sweep back in front of you. Take a pause, lift up to that ceiling. Draw your circle, keeping it parallel, keep those hips still. Lift up to that climb ladder, lower, and then sweep. I know those booties are burning. You can do it. Take those pauses, take those resets when you need to. Keep your shoulders stacked. You can do it, really squeeze. Burning out those booties today. You got this. Use your breath. 15 seconds. We're gonna take it into our rainbow. We're gonna sweep our leg and hold to the corner of the room. We're gonna draw a tiny little rainbow and then trace it back for that rainbow. In 3, 2, and 1. Meet me in front of your hip. Sweep down 90 degrees. Hold. Draw a tiny little circle up and around. Draw it back, up and around. Squeeze. You can feel it right here. I'm shaking there with you. You can do it. Lift up through those obliques. You got this. 10 seconds. And we're gonna roll onto our backs for toe taps. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Roll on those backs. You're gonna take your toes up to that ceiling. Crunch up. Interlace your thumbs and fingers and pulse up. Point your toes, maybe you flex. Really squeeze. Tap that ceiling. If you want a little bit more, lower your legs. 45 degrees. It's gonna give you a longer way to tap. 15 seconds. And we get a stretch. Bringing our knees in for a hug. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those knees down, hug it out. Maybe you rock it from side to side. Take a breath. Get ready. What we do on one side, we gotta do on the other. I'm gonna turn around to face you. So now we're on our right sides. Again, on your forearm, or you can lay down on your side. Prop up on that hand. Tuck those legs, hips squared, shoulders squared. Starting with our leg swifts. With that left leg, meet me in front of that hip. Exhales, you sweep down to that room. Inhales, you sweep it back. Pull those bellies in. Top hand can be down for that support, or take your form check. Making sure those hips aren't falling open or falling forward. Keep it stacked. Use your breath. You got this. Maybe you flex and point that foot. Flex that foot on that exhale. Inhales, you point. Keeping your ankles in line with those hips. Second side's always harder. We burn out faster, so we tend to drop our foot in front of us. Keep it lifted. You got it. Really squeeze. 15 seconds. We're gonna take it back to that large circle, alternating our parallel lift and lower. I'll talk you through that first round. Large circle, parallel lift and lower. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me down at that room in line with your hip. Inhale, sweep in front of you. Exhale, lift up to that ceiling. Draw your circle around. Hold that hip height. Lift up for that parallel lift. Lower, keep it at hip height, and sweep all the way back in front of you. Lift up to that ceiling. Lower, take that circle all the way in line with your hip. Lift up. And lower. Still lifting up through our side waist. Our core is still engaged. As we get tired, it's easy to just hang out on that side. Think that we're laying down. I still want you to lift up. Pull those bellies up and in. I'm right here with you. Keep squeezing. You can do it. 15 seconds. We're gonna alternate. So we're gonna reverse that circle, alternating our climb the ladder. I'll talk you through that first round. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me in front of your hip. You're gonna sweep down to that room. You're gonna lift up to that ceiling. You're gonna draw your circle all the way in front of your hip, hold. You're gonna lift up to that ceiling. You're gonna lower for your climb ladder and then sweep all the way back. It's okay to take that reset. Take a reset. Pound out those booties. I'm right here with you. My booties are on fire. My glutes are on fire. And get right back into it. Really sweep. Use your core. You got it. So strong. Lifting up, lifting down, and sweeping all the way back in line with your hip. Lifting up towards that ceiling. Draw your circle in front of your hip. Lift up and lower. 15 seconds. We're gonna finish out these sweeps with our rainbow. You're gonna sweep to the corner of the room about 90 degrees to trace a rainbow in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep in front of you about 90 degrees. Keep it at hip height. Trace a rainbow up and around. Squeeze up and around. You're burning. I know you are. You can do it. Still lift up through your obliques. Stabilize. Lift up through your core. 15 seconds. We're gonna end with those heel taps, turning on to our backs. Sending our heels up to that ceiling for those heel taps. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Booty burn. Turn on to those backs. Take your heels up to that ceiling. Crunch up. This time, opposite fingers to opposite heel. We started with those obliques. We're gonna end with them. 30 seconds. You can do it. Really squeeze. I'm ending strong with you. Let's make this last 30 seconds our strongest part of class. Pull your bellies down. Anchor your tailbone. Your bra straps are rolling on that floor. 15 seconds. Maybe we pick up our pace. Get that heart rate elevated. You can do it. Try to get 1 inch higher. How high can you get? We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So strong. Bring those knees in. Take a breath. Just rock it from side to side. We're gonna take just a little bit of that cool down. Just staying on those backs. Keep that right leg in. Extend that left leg. Pull it in. Keep everything parallel. When you're ready, take that knee over to the side. Take that right hand to the side of the room and take your gaze. Stretching your spine. Take a couple breaths. Bring it back in. Give it a nice hug. Alternate. Bring your left leg into your chest. Right leg down in front of you. Bring it in, stretch out those hip flexors. When you're ready, taking your knee over the side of the room. Taking your left hand to that side, other side. Drop your gaze. Really squeeze. Press your shoulders down. Pull it up. Bring those knees in for a hug and carefully roll up. We're gonna take that butterfly position, framing those feet. Soles of those feet. Take those knees down. Maybe take those elbows. Maybe you just take a forward fold. Stretch those hands in front of you. Maybe you take those feet out in front, forward fold. Flex those toes as you pull down. Drop that head as you stretch out that back. Really stretch those hamstrings, those calves. Take whatever other stretches you need. Maybe you take the next 10 minutes and do a full cool down. Thank you so much for joining me in this full body workout. My name is Britt, and again, I'm a studio manager at Chandler. So all my Chandler babes, see you in class. See you guys in the next live video. Bye.